Thank you so much, Vanna, for this wonderful introduction. It's always a pleasure and an honor to be associated with Cambridge University Press and Assessment and to be able to share my thoughts. And I welcome all the educators today who have taken time out and stepped into a journey of self development and self empowerment. So, dear teachers, welcome to today's session. And today's topic, which is building a culture of academic excellence in schools, is not just very close to my heart, but it is an extremely pertinent issue as to understand, since times are changing, what exactly excellence means. What is my role as an educator? So, for the next 1 hour, we will explore what excellence really means and how, when there is a culture, and how this culture shapes what practical steps we can take as educators to make excellence our habit, not just excellence to be seen as a grade or marks on the report card or in the notebooks, but excellence as a by default nature in whatever and everything that we do. Thank you so much, Vanna. Can we please move on to the next slide? Next slide, please. So here you can see we will be defining academic excellence. We will be identifying some key pillars, analyze some changes, and propose certain solutions. And you will yourself will be building certain actionable plans. So my only request to you is to be participative and interact whatever comes to your mind. You see, there are no right and wrong answers. There are only perspectives. And that is what we encourage our students to do. Next slide. We see that we live in a world where children learn coding before the children are exposed even to cursive writing. With AI and tech revolution, knowledge has become obsolete and it changes so fast, it changes even before our fashion sense changes. So, then academic excellence, what would academic excellence be? Is it just about marks? Or it's about being curious, creating human beings who can critically think? Is it about building their skills? Should we change our patterns of assessment to assess academic success? What are the newer parameters of academic success? So, on the screen, you can, next slide, please. On the screen, you can see there is a little question in red. What kind of education then truly will shape and prepare us for this new normal world, which I often called the VUCA world? Can I have some responses in the chat? What kind of education would you want for your own child, probably? Good evening, everyone. But if you progressive, very good. Aina Rajneesh says progressive, play based. Yes, excellent. Own thinking capacity, individual, holistic. I cannot read all the names, but I'm very impressed. Active, play, decision making, activity based. Great. I think we are all on the same page, and that is a very good thing to know, that the session will become more meaningful when we all understand why I am talking about this culture. Yes, Aditi says holistic. playway, innovative. Yes, thank you so much for your responses, but keep sharing and keep adding it. So, yes, we need an holistic and an education which truly shapes all the faculties of a child's mind, body, soul, intellect. That is the real academic excellence in today's world. But would it happen by one paper and pen test? Would it happen? That will be only a very, very microscopic view if we assess the child's academic capabilities just through a pen and paper test. We need to expand the child's like a elastic or a rubber band. We need to softly keep expanding the child's potential. Next, we have spoken about that. How can then, what does it mean when your topic says that we need to build a culture of academic excellence? So, the academic excellence is not restricted to then your subject, your pen and paper test, but we are here talking about how can I build a culture of the academic excellence. And I know you will be saying, next slide, please. You will all be saying that, yes, we've heard our principals talk about what is the culture of our school. Why can't we have a positive school culture? Why can't we have a robust but culture? What am I supposed to do with culture? My task is to give schools an amazing and a vibrant result in the exams, and that is what I'm doing. But why does the principal talk about building a culture? So, before we enter into a discussion of academic excellence, let's also spend a minute on what does culture mean to you? What does then culture mean to you? Okay, let me look at the responses. What does a culture mean to you? Education that prepares, Pilala Padma Raja says, education that prepares us for future, teaches us how to think and adapts and keeps learning. Yes. What does culture be? Whatever comes to your mind, when I say the word culture, just think, don't type, just think for a second and then turn in your responses in the chat box. Way of life, yes. Inclusion, respect to each individual. On your screen, you can, yes, shared values and practices. I think this is very important. Way of life, shared values and practices. Culture means way the people live, their beliefs, traditions. Thank you so much. On your screen, you can see I've created a little graphic where everybody, it depicts they are from different cultural backgrounds, but culture is when there is a shared understanding of what is going on in a particular, whether it is your household or your school or in the entire nation. So in schools, often culture is seen to be the way we do things. So, how we do things is a very, very important term because it influences motivation, expectations, what I have expectations as an educator from my child, what expectations as an educator I have from the school. Am I motivated enough to motivate my students? These are the certain questions that now you will be asking yourself. Okay, now let's look at one more. I know I'm nudging you to keep turning in your responses in the chat box. Now let's make this a very personal thing. I want you to type one word in the chat that describes your school's culture. If you identify what is your school's culture. Yes, your school's culture is unity, holistic development. Wow, I'm so happy. Discipline, I think you're child centric, like innovative, nurturing curiosity, I'm sure, and fostering critical thinking, love, very good collaboration, nurturing. Amazing. I am very happy that each one of you very categorically identifies that your school has a culture. And let us see. Now we will do litmus paper tests and we'll see that, the words that I'm writing, are they only words, or does this really resonate with what when I go back into the schools? So, yes, you've been very clear. And yes, culture starts with clarity. When values like respect, empathy, when teachers show empathy towards their children, when management shows empathy towards the teachers, when there is an environment of respect, these are the parameters of a culture in the school. And this is, let's reflect that, and you've already given me the values. So, here, for example, if I have to think about an example of a school culture, and of course, we've seen many, words which do talk about caring, school built on certain values, kindness and discipline, and so many words you give it. But certain examples, the live example that I feel is, because when I was in school, when I was a teacher, I remember our principal, I will not name the which school and I will not name the principal, but there was a very beautiful, we had a Tuesday afternoon, 11 o'clock, we used to have a break where children also used to have a snack break. And at 11 o'clock, all the teachers would gather in that floor's terrace, and a little tea and samosa were arranged. And after, I think, 2 minutes or 1 minute of hello, hi, yeah, laughing, because the principal used to be there, the coordinators used to be there, we suddenly and very organically used to move on to discussing certain problems, issues, not necessarily pertaining to children or not children, but the challenges and how we could solve those issues. We would look at certain strategies. We would also then discuss, what is going right, what is going wrong, so then this was never a back talk. Whatever we were talking, the small wins, the small challenges, everything was being discussed in that. So, in case you would want, you can write it down and share it with your, heads. And if the heads are there, that about a 15 minutes break with a very rich and collaborative experience where everyone comes together. Of course, you could have it with different, you could have once with the senior program, the other time you can have with junior, and so on and so forth. So that is one, it builds a culture of collaboration with the collaboration and cooperation. Very good. Somebody has written cooperation amongst the teachers. Now, when I look at the students, most of the time you see that in schools, what is celebrated is accolades, awards, and all. What if in schools we also celebrate, because I think every classroom has certain very rich incidents, examples of certain children who may not win an accolade, who may not win an award, but their daily the daily handling of situation would not be probably less than any accolade and award. So the acts of kindness, the acts of empathy, the acts of bravery or courage, maybe if the child has gone from B to C or B to E, then that move that the child makes, that the how the graph moves from point A to point E or F or G, those things also, if we could celebrate. I know it becomes very taxing but maybe the day when you have your classes assembly, how about after everything, after the awards and all, one child is celebrated not because he was academically very good, but he did something which is worth praising. So that's something that is building a culture. Now, I will be giving you a task. So keep hearing me consciously because the task will be something related to it. Okay, let me now look at another term in this, which is next slide, please, excellence. So, when we talk about excellence, what does the word excellence bring to your mind? Does it just bring writing excellent or an excellent result? Enter one word that defines excellence in your school. Let's see what themes emerge. Performance, perfect, persistent and striving accuracy. Lovely. Somebody's written persistence and striving accuracy. I think big round of applause. Better than before. Amazing. Achievement, outstanding. Genuine efforts, yes. But yes, I would love to hold on to the terms which says persistence and striving for accuracy. There can be nothing better than excellence defined in terms of. So, one of the achievements in schools isn't about, I think none of you wrote, which I'm very happy about, that excellence is not about one achievement. It is your daily uh, pursuit of following what excellence is. Whatever I do, even if at home you are helping your own child to do a project, or probably you're preparing a meal for somebody to come. So, excellence is accuracy, excellence is skill, and that is a continuous shaping of a person's personality, and the personality will be some total. It will not just be then reflected in his behavior, it will automatically reflect in his report card as well, in the report cards as well. You know, when teachers and students and leaders consistently practice, high standards, excellence comes naturally. Do not settle in, but do not reprimand, do not scold. Just hold on to the words persistence and striving. Now, let's come to for what we have gathered today. How can I define academic excellence? I hope the session is making relevance and sense to you. I hope you're enjoying the session and you're having a takeaway. Great. Maybe move on to the next slide, please. Thank you. Because these are the questions that the moment you start reflecting upon, your classrooms will buzz with, there won't be one, two, three. The entire classroom will become an excellent a space where excellence will be in the environment. Now, when we look at next slide, please, Vanna ma'am. Yes. This is something I would like you to look at. When we talk about creating a culture of academic excellence, I am not telling my child or my student that, you need to aspire for 95%, practice these papers, learn more, read more, and pressurize them. You will have to, because times have changed, and so should the expectations, the pedagogy, the outcomes, the everything should change as per the changing times and as per the ask of the new world. So, academic excellence, as I said, is just not about your test scores. If it's not just about your test scores, how can I aspire? because you have to make a child and shape a child and nurture a child in a way where excellence becomes his personality trait. It's about you need to create an environment of high expectations, growth mindset, and shared vision. Now you'll say, ma'am, shared vision and all these things are for school. No, in your own classrooms, you are the leader. You are the principal of your own classroom. So you must have a shared vision of your class that, okay, each one of us are going to handhold the students who are probably needing a little push or needing a little scaffolding. So when school, as when I say school, I just mean the teacher. For me, teacher is school. When I say school, when school or the teacher sets a high bar, and not by saying, look, these children have got 95, 96%, or they are performing, they can speak well, they are confident. No, the moment you set a nice bar by saying, this semester, let us see how many of us can beat our own scores and by what percentage or by what grades or how am I becoming better. Students will, you can write it and you can etch it on your hearts. Students will rise to meet it because they will feel trusted and capable of achieving. And same goes for the parents as well. You are not studying. Why are you not studying? You just study for an hour and then you want to go for play, then you want to watch the TV. That is, we are only pressurizing them. We are only, putting a blame on them. We are not creating or building a trusted relationship. So, when we say that we have high expectations, what does it mean? We will say, ma'am, high expectation simply means that I am for me, high expectation is if the child is getting 95, 94, and if he's the practical aspect is this. It's really about how we set the tone of the classroom. When teachers consistently believe students can do better, that is, first, your call should be that I am going to, your only dharma is that for me this year, my each child will become better, and by the mid semester, their grades will be rising. They will become more confident. They will take ownership of of their academics. They will have a curiosity and a desire to learn why they are learning what they are learning. That is your main aim. And that will not take their teachers extra time or a separate time. This is not a moral sign. The only thing you have to do is walk that extra mile to ensure that each child in your class is at that point of whatever he's fighting, whatever area he's struggling in, you need to address that issue there and then. Whether you will do it yourself or you will make buddies or peer or you will find, I know nobody is going to give you an extra period, but in your own class, you can have the culture of the last 10 minutes is only for, assessing ourselves where we are, what problems are we facing. So, for example, the kids, I've seen that lot many times. Simple shifts like expecting every child to contribute in group discussion will transform the classes culture. Most of the time, the children are scared. They are very scared that, am I speaking the right? Is it the right thing what I'm saying? What if people will laugh? So first barrier is you need to break this. As I said, knowledge and learning is all about developing a perspective. So always encourage, even if it is a maths operation that the child is doing wrong. So then the next we come to the growth mindset. Again, it's very simple thing. When it's a growth mindset, you will only be encouraging your child and seeing opportunity and possibility in their mistakes as well. नहीं तो क्या होगा, डब्बा बंद. आप एकदम से जब उनको डांटेंगे या कहेंगे ये भी नहीं आता, ये तो बहुत आसान था बेटा, ये तो आप ये भी नहीं कर पाए, इसका मतलब आपने ध्यान नहीं दिया जब मैं एक्सप्लेन कर रही थी. Please don't say these things. They are very, actually, they have become part of our regular, and we don't mean bad as educators, but it has become part of our daily conversation. But how it hits a child, ekdam that box will close because somebody standing next to that child would have done that. And they would be feeling, okay, I could do it. And then they'll say, कोई बात नहीं, कुछ नहीं, मैम तो ऐसे ही बोलती रहती है, ये बहुत. Rather, change how you're going to address them. I've already spoken to you a lot about shared vision. I'm not going to parrot this. लेकिन ये जो तीन चीजें हैं, द ग्रोथ, हाई एक्सपेक्टेशंस, ग्रोथ माइंडसेट, शेयर्ड, ये सब कर लिया मैंने सबको. स्टार्ट ऑफ द, it's a new academic session you're starting with. So all these can come very handy and very relevant. I think this is the best time Cambridge did this, because normally last में जब आप करते हैं तो कुछ हाथ में नहीं रहता. So first, set shared vision. Spend one period or with your class or with as a subject teacher, and kya goals hai? How are we going to, what is your expectations from me? Even that is so important. The second is growth mindset. It's okay, I see a lot that you can do it. I know आपको यहां तक नहीं आता, but ये तो आता है ना, इसके थ्रू we are going to reach out. And a high expectation. Believe that, don't say अरे ये मेरी क्लास में आ गया, ये तो बिल्कुल, अरे सारे मेरे पास तो इस बार कूड़ा बच्चे आ गए. That is the worst thing, and I know teachers use it in the classrooms. That is the sad story. अरे मेरे पास ये सारे बच्चे आ गए, आपके पास तो. No, every child has a great potential. Every child, the only person who sometimes potential is dormant is us teachers. Next slide, please. Now let us move. How are we going to achieve this? ये अचीव कैसे होगा, ये जो हाई एक्सपेक्टेशन, ग्रोथ माइंडसेट, शेयर्ड विजन, इसको हम करेंगे कैसे? वी आर वेरी क्लियर, ऑल ऑफ यू क्लियर टिल नाउ? कैन यू प्लीज नोट इट डाउन in the chat box if you're clear? Till now, everybody is clear how I'm going to start my new session? Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Really means a lot that you are on the same page. Okay, because हम लोग हमेशा होलिस्टिक बात करते हैं. आज मैंने आपके सामने ये लिख दिया, होलिस्टिक का मतलब क्या. होलिस्टिक डेवलपमेंट इज ऑन बोथ एंड्स, एज अ टीचर एंड एज अ स्टूडेंट. जब दोनों की होलिस्टिक डेवलपमेंट साथ साथ होगी, it is only then when we are going to achieve academic excellence. Vanna ma'am, the next slide please. Yes, अब आ जाइए. कोर प्रिंसिपल्स. ये जो कोर प्रिंसिपल्स हैं, इसके अंदर बहुत सारी कहानी छुपी हुई है. And it is not leaving anything. If you see, in core principles mein nothing is left. Have you ever wondered why everybody is doing a lot of hard work? And I know the most Herculean, I should be using the word, hard work is done by educators and nobody else, because I know the kind of burn they take. So have you ever wondered, some schools are performing brilliantly while others remain, and not that they are not doing, they remain little average. They don't make that mark in the community, in that local area, even though some schools would have the same infrastructure, resources, क्योंकि वो एक बड़ी इन्वेंट्री सी आ गई है आजकल. स्कूल स्टार्ट करना है, ये सारी चीजें होनी चाहिए, ये लैब होना चाहिए, सब होना चाहिए, तो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर सबका सेम हो. लेकिन फिर भी कोई ना कोई आपके एरिया में स्कूल्स होंगे जिनके बच्चे हमेशा, यू वुड बी थिंकिंग, नॉट दैट देयर इज एनीथिंग लैकिंग in your children, there is anything lacking in your leadership, there is anything lacking in your in the teachers, but something, there is a missing link in that jigsaw puzzle. So let's see who are the contributors to this academic excellence. And the contributors of this academic excellence is everybody have to be on the same page, everybody have to speak the same language. Only when, because children are very smart, parents are very smart, parents are smarter, they want to take that advantage. If the teachers and the leadership are not in sync, only when they are in sync can personalized pedagogy can happen. Students will be motivated, collaboration with parents will happen. The first thing is, you must be on the same page and in sync with your leadership. Now, that also speaks a lot about leadership. How much openness does leadership give to its teachers? How much they incorporate the inputs of the teachers, because teachers are the frontliners, they are the soldiers in the classroom. So it is very important that the leadership should also take a lot of feedback and then formulate principles, taking the the teachers together and so on. Teachers should take the choice and voice of students only when, whether they are designing an activity or an assignment, or even when they are giving an homework. That's not a big thing. If you want your homeworks to come on time, then you must take the students' input. If you want the students to perform, do not go by your mind, do not go just by the rigor of curriculum. Stop, wait, and see what is the. And today we have such technology intervention, you can analyze the scores, that which students are lacking in what aspect of their performance, whether it is understanding, or they are not getting enough time, or they are not getting the right environment, whether they are not putting in that effort, or probably they are slow learners. आज की डेट में ये एनालिसिस करना हर टीचर के हाथ में. तो ये थोड़ी थोड़ी चीजें हैं जो कि जरूरी नहीं है सब आपको एक ही साथ करनी है, बट इफ यू डू इट, you will see the jadoo happening in the classroom. You will see this year, if you just do these 2-3 steps, and since it's starting, you will honestly see the difference. So, if what if I have to kind of so also, like as I said, adapt to when you're a teacher, it just adapt your lessons. You've written a lesson plan, but suppose the lesson plan that you've written and you are transacting that lesson, it is not giving you the desired result. So tweak it. There is no rocket science. There's nothing which says, if my students are not understanding in one aspect, I cannot be, choosing another methodology. Little bit you have to be courageous. I know sometimes your peer teachers, sometimes the coordinators would object to, no, this should have been done like this. But your main focus should be, is my child understanding? Is my student responding to my teaching? So, yes, that means you will have to do your teaching a little in terms of personalized. So, that is something. Again, make parents. I had gone 2 days back to a parent counseling session, and the only thing I told them was, the teachers and parents in school, is do not be the three vertices of a triangle, all three opposing the other two. Please be a line and those three dots, points on the line, so that the moment you're on the same page, so then you must let open the gates of your school to parents, and they are very excited to take responsibility to help you out with community projects or maybe some others. Today, there are so many skill based education which is integrated in the curriculum. So whether for the financial literacy, you may call some parents and let them have those sessions. For digital, maybe your parents will be very happy when they will be, and they will not question you then. So just have these little kind of note down these little cues by which you can better your classroom performances. Now, let's go to the next slide. So, collaboration with parents, student engagement, and yes, next slide. Yes, thank you so much, Jayanti. Please do because when you're investing so much of time and energy in this workshop, you must, in this session, you must ensure that you get a takeaway. So, here I've made a little, and I will give you 1 minute. I'm sure you would either be having a pen and paper, or if not, you have your mobiles. And in that, no, I don't mean Google it, I mean think and just write these three. Identify that one practice, and you have to be very honest. Write stop, start, continue. One practice that hinders excellence, and I will not ask you, but I want you to do that activity. One new high impact habit that you are going to introduce as an educator in your classes, and one such practice or strategy that you want to continue, scale it. You will have 1 minute, and if you want, I will be very happy if you want to just write stop, start, continue, and just stop comparing. Wonderful. So just make your own little listen personal plan. I think this is so beautiful. And what I'm liking, a big round of applause for you, because you all are being so honest. I'm extremely happy that my audience are connecting. Stop comparing. Yes. So stop, you've already given. Let's see what is that one new strategy that you're going to start. Activity based. Excellent. Encourage duller. What is that? Stop. Start encouraging. Start playway methodology. More interact. Very good. More interaction. Amazing. Amazing. Start. Very good. Somebody, this is the way. Stop, start, and think and then write. Very good. Stop comparing. Okay. Now let's go to continue. Let's go to continue motivating. Very good. That I know every teacher in themselves are a great motivator. And you just need to little brush the dust. And I know you will be so charged for your new academic session, because the moment you have thought about it, the moment you are writing it, you are going to change it. So, this is something, and you can actually use this template in your class. You can take a screenshot and you can start your new session with the stop, start, continue activity. Okay. I think that was such a brilliant, brilliant audience. Thank you, Vandana ma'am. Can you move on to the next slide, please? Okay. Now we will look at the challenges. Vandana ma'am, can we have the next slide? Yes. This is our reality. Abhi tak we were saying, okay, I can, but our reality is actually this. Isn't it? How many say yes? Isn't it? Isn't this your reality? बुलाते रहते हैं पेरेंट्स को, प्लीज कम, वी वांट टू टॉक टू यू, वी वांट टू टॉक टू यू, लेकिन नहीं, पेरेंट्स नहीं आएंगे. Teacher, burnout, I can imagine. I've risen, I've been an educator, and I'll always be an educator at heart. And hence, I can always empathize with the plight of the educators. Nobody does more work than the educators. Inconsistent. आज डिसिप्लिन है, कल थोड़ा सा लूज छोड़ोगे, मैम आप प्लेवे कह रहे हैं, सारा इनडिसिप्लिन हो जाएगा. ओके. Now, teacher burnout happens when we are stretched too thin. And, we are constantly juggling endless lesson plans, admin work, leaving us drained. And we feel so dissipated that we feel, oh God, अभी करिकुलम सिलेबस खत्म हो जाए, ये मेरा सबसे बड़ा धर्म है. मैम आप जो मर्जी ज्ञान दे दें, लेकिन मुझे पता है, मुझे ये सिलेबस फर्स्ट टर्म में, बाय द एंड मे फर्स्ट वीक में हमारे यूटीज शुरू हो जाएंगे. आई नीड टू फिनिश दिस. बट टीचर्स, please take into consideration the steps: stop, start, continue. Then the discipline is always an issue. Lacked parental engagement, I said, resources. You want to do something, but you're not getting enough resources. You're not getting that lab. You're not even getting sometimes the permission to take the children out, or probably you're not getting. So जब ये बहुत सारी चीजें होती हैं, that actually impacts the academic excellence. These are honestly the barriers to academic excellence. We are not, because that is what you keep working hard with, solving problems and giving them so many remedial worksheets, test papers and all, but it's not happening because it should have started right in the beginning of the session, academic session. Next slide, please, ma'am. Vandana ma'am, next slide, please. Yes. We saw the barriers. Yes, we saw these barriers. But we are teachers, we are educators. Let's start turning barriers into opportunities. Let's see one barrier, one opportunity, because your inputs will maybe solutions to somebody else. Yes, pressure from the management side, very right. Absolutely, bilkul. So now let's look at, propose one practical solution. Now you're not going to write separate, you're going to write in one chart. There is one challenge and what solution you propose. It could be just as simple as peer observation to reduce isolation and reduce your burden. But give practical solutions and don't be scared. Lack of interest, boredom, use activities. Very right. Thank you so much, Sheikh Shahid. Pressure more. Yes, this is the way I want, the way it's given in chat. What is that one barrier? And what is your suggestion? You can think and turn it. I'm waiting. Okay, Nidhi Jindal's name is shown. Difference, lack of teacher confidence. Very good. I feel shy to speak. I will try slowly and practice. Absolutely. Yes. Provide regular training workshops. Notebook correction. Connection to syllabus is from grade to grade. Yes, I think this is a very important thing. Immediately you need to move from grade to grade, and at the moment you're teaching a very high order thing, and suddenly you need to go and talk about probably some concept which is of a very lower grades. Only activities happen in class, students are learning or not, no one bothers. Yes, I think that is a very, only activities happens in the class. I think Monica ma'am, very right. You should activity should be clubbed with proper peer observation, reflection, and assessment. Only then activity will have a yes. So you can use the challenge, your peer support. You can use the peer student support. Time management is in. How will you solve time management? That is an issue for every teacher. Okay. All right. Moving on to the next slide, please. Very good. Excellent. Let's move to the other. Okay. Now, these are some of the very good practices. When schools put good practices into action, academic excellence naturally follows. कोई रोक ही नहीं सकता अगर आपकी स्कूल में गुड प्रैक्टिसेस होंगी. You will encourage project based learning. You will encourage small fragmented answers. कभी कभी मुझे ये कहा जाता था कि वर्कशॉप हाउ टू क्यूरेट राइट आंसर्स, और मैं लेती थी एक जमाने में ये वर्कशॉप्स, और कैम्ब्रिज के साथ ही लिए. बट ये वर्कशॉप उस जमाने में तो चलो ठीक है, बट सीरियसली हाउ टू राइट क्यूरेट एन आंसर. Why? Let the child give their own perspectives. Let him say an orange is not orange, and let him paint an orange blue. Let him think. He will come back to orange being orange color, but let him take that journey. Learn how to apply these projects in the real life. So these, like I told you, some schools really perform. They are high performing schools. They'll not bother what XYZ ranking is in given, और जिन स्कूल में रैंकिंग सबसे ऊपर लिखी होती है वो कभी वो रैंकिंग नहीं होती है. They will not even going to be into that rat race. Their teachers will be extremely focused in their classrooms performance in terms not just academic, in terms of the true holistic development. The teachers will be building one-on-one connect, contact in terms of student well-being with the parents. They will be reaching out to the parents themselves, and not that the parent is keep knocking on the door. Next slide, please. As I told you, and I think I'm not going to parrot anything here, I told you what is my role as an educator, and I think I have only the S is missing here, sorry. My role as an educator or as a school, just build growth mindset. Yes, Kandana says safe and happy atmosphere. Bhagyalakshmi says safe and happy atmosphere. Very true. वो safe and happy कब होगा? When you will have a growth mindset, you'll say, okay, you will not cross the notebook. So do less, but at least will be recording available. Okay, that is, yes, recording will be available to you. Don't worry on that. So one thing, let me tell you, a teacher's attitude will always reflect in a child's performance. And there is no other mantra. Otherwise, your students will perform. Senior teachers, the students will run to tuition. They really respect their tuition teachers. Why? Because the same teacher who is in the school is performing better in their tutorial classes. Because they are not only teaching, they are mentoring them. They are seeing a growth mindset. तो ये हम स्कूल में क्यों नहीं कर सकते? A growth mindset is going to be the key to academic excellence, because it will help students to see challenges and mistakes as opportunities to learn rather than obstacles. नहीं तो बच्चा डर जाएगा. Always encourage mistakes. When learners, जब स्टूडेंट को ये लगता है ना कि ठीक है मैम कुछ नहीं कहेंगी, तो वो और दिल से काम करते हैं. When learner believe that you can at least say, and 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, grades or younger grades, primary children, they rarely take you so seriously, even if they are not doing well. I'm not talking about pre-primary and all, there everything works. लेकिन academic excellence की बात आती है 6 to 8th वाले segment में. वहां पे बच्चे क्योंकि फिफ्थ में नहीं बिल्डअप हुआ, सो समटाइम्स you can always talk to the teachers of class 4 and 5 that what are the weak concepts of. I know I'm giving you a lot of tasks. I'm giving you a lot of tasks, but this is going to help you out. If you can just have a word that what is, जब आप ये कहते हो अरे मेरे पास ये बच्चे आ गए, उफ ये तो बहुत खराब है, ये तो बिल्कुल बर्बाद है, मेरी क्लास खराब हो गई, नहीं, those will be your shining stars. But the only thing is, if you will have the growth mindset. और growth mindset क्या है? Growth mindset कोई philosophy नहीं है. Growth mindset के steps हैं. You will have to contact the previous year's teacher. You will have to analyze what is the area where this child is not performing. That is the real growth mindset. Otherwise तो फिर ये psychology का concept बन के रह जाएगा. And then that have that वो जो trust है. I've noticed that the classrooms where mistakes are treated as stepping stones, they often nurture that curiosity, and those are the schools which are performing extremely well in that area. आप देख लीजिए, analysis कर लीजिए, this is going to be. So, I would want you to rewrite one feedback phrase into a growth mindset. I want you, like this, how are you going to, next slide, please. Next slide, please. Yes. So I've given you a lot of things here, but I want you to write that, do not steal these phrases. They are only for your cue. I want you to write in the chat box one way of giving feedback to the student in your class. And I want all of you to give very genuine. Think about one child and then just write a phrase of that feedback. It's all about, nothing is rocket science. Class 6, 7th, 8th, 9th, 11th, 12th भी rocket science नहीं है. It's all about academic excellence depends a lot on growth mindset. It a lot depends upon teachers' attitude. It depends upon student motivation, and that can do wonders. Excellent, good job. No. Yes, keep trying. You are growing. Yes, we can excel anything. Do not worry. Yes, write phrases. I'll be very happy. My learners are just wow. You can do it. Amazing. Very good. I don't want you to write the meaning of growth mindset. I want you to write one phrase that you will be using with your students instead of no excellent, no wow. One phrase where student feels excellent. जब आप लिखते हो तो वो एक momentarily खुश होता है, ओ मुझे excellent मिला. पर जब आप कोई एक लाइन लिख देते हो, वो लाइन उसके साथ हमें, वो सेंटेंस उसके साथ हमेशा के लिए रह जाता है. ये तो अचीव डेट है. Somebody who's not performing, polish and focus consistently. Yes, I'm happy you have elephant's memory. Very good. I believe in you. Amazing. Well done. Keep it up. You have perfect. Amazing. Let's now also look at one more concept, which I've already touched, but I'm going to just show you that slide and skip. Vanna ma'am, can you move on to the next slide, please? Yes. I've already spoken about this multiple in, I think, last 1 hour. I've spoken a lot about how a safe, supportive space where every child feels belonged, where people don't feel my teacher is partial, she likes him more. बच्चों में बहुत होता है. इसलिए आप अपना टोन और अपना सबके लिए inclusivity and diversity. So yes, thank you so much for the last inputs. So this is building a community. Schools, physical, and this is for leaders as well. You need to clean, inviting, the toilets are clean, the classroom is clean. That small effort that the classroom is clean after the break, the child feels safe, he comes running to you, confides in you. These are small things which you're doing. I will not spend much time as we are running short. Next slide, please. Yes. So, innovation and growth is going to be the mantra for the next, I don't know how many decades, because we are in a knowledge economy, and a knowledge economy is always governed by creativity, innovation, and these two will lead to growth. So, teachers who abide by this kind of a mindset, you can see what are the percentages in which their students start performing. So, excellence will require creativity. You are not, same answer will not be relevant. Now, the answers will be different. The questions need to be redefined. So, of course, that can be done with technology intervention. Your feedback loops, your assessment patterns, all these will require different norms, different pedagogies. So, gamified quizzes, peer mentoring, digital reflection, journaling, और रिफ्लेक्शन रिफ्लेक्शन रिफ्लेक्शन, जितना अपने बच्चों से रिफ्लेक्शन करवाओगे, even if it means if the child has not performed well, okay, or if they have, what did the three things you did next? जैसे हम कहते थे ना पुराने जमाने में करेक्शंस हमें मिलती थी, उसको मत करवाओ. What we used to do old, जब टेस्ट पेपर मिलता था, वी से ओके करेक्शंस करो, जो गलत है उसको सही लिखो. आप रिफ्लेक्ट करवाओ कि जो गलत है मैंने उसको क्यों गलत किया, और उसको मैं कहाँ मैं वेयर डिड आई गो रॉन्ग एंड व्हाई डिड आई गो रॉन्ग. सो चेंज, जब आफ्टर योर यूटी और योर डिक्टेशन और योर टेस्ट यू गिव करेक्शंस, उसको चेंज करके लिख दो रिफ्लेक्शंस. राइट नाउ action plan. Next slide, please. Okay. Technology, why I'm saying is this is a very important. Why? Because we are all in an age of technology. Leverage technology. मेरी बड़ी favorite slide है क्योंकि मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता है survey. 80% of the teachers feel their role has changed from being knowledge providers to learning facilitators. So you need to now, ये बहुत important है academic excellence के लिए, because जो knowledge आप दे रहे हो, जो पढ़ा रहे हो क्लास में, वो सब is there on the net, and AI can do much better. You cannot defeat AI when it comes to information and knowledge, but you can leverage AI when it comes to writing curating the questions, creating a differential learning teaching pedagogies. All these things can be leveraged. I will not parrot what is there on the screen, but you should be more as facilitators, motivators. Teacher is AI now. AI is the teacher. So you become the facilitator. So information, knowledge, let AI handle. But you can leverage AI and create so much out of technology. Your students will enjoy, they will perform better, and your results, you will be praised, you will be, amongst all, you will have accolades and awards and so on. Next slide, please. Next slide, ma'am. Yes. Okay, now is the time you need to make commitment. आज की डेट डालिए and make your action plan. One commitment you are saying, I can see you're writing excellent webinar, very good, very good. But this webinar will only become excellent only when my dear audience, when my dear teachers will promise me that there'll be just one takeaway. मैंने बहुत कुछ आपको बताया, but just write, I will write a specific action for tomorrow, and I'll not ask if it was a physical, I would have asked you for a date. But no, no, thank you, ma'am, for the webinar. I want you to write that I will. What will you do? That one thing. Yes, thank you so much. I really like you were a very responsive audience, and that is something. Be the facilitators. Very good. Thank you so much, Jayanti Mohanty. I can. Very good. I can. I will focus on every child. Brilliant. Brilliant. Big round of applause for all my participants today. Yes. Next slide, please. So, the sum total of today's thing is academic excellence is not the outcome of your good teaching. Academic excellence will only happen if excellence becomes a habit, if it is a culture. When you also teach, you feel that I'm going to beat my peer teacher. Nobody can teach better than me. That is the level of academic excellence which you want to bring. Communication, collaboration, support staff, of course, celebrate, uh, and have fun. Learning should be in the air. Learning should be a joyful activity and not a hard task. Last slide, please. Thank you so much. I have taken 4 minutes more. I'm sorry. Thank you. And as we close, remember, excellence is definitely not a destination. आप better होते जाते हो हर बार. Even I try myself to become as better and better and better. And excellence is something we will. Excellence does only come when we are not reaching excellence, when we are aspiring for excellence. So it's going to be a culture that we build together in our schools. It's lived daily in our words, actions, expectations. तो जो छोटी छोटी चीजें होती हैं, how am I addressing the class? आप लोग बहुत आजकल रील मैनिफेस्टेशन आती रहती है, बहुत रील आती रहती है. आप जब स्टाफ रूम में भी किसी बच्चे के बारे में बुरा बोलेंगे ना, it will be fed in your mind. So change your conversations in the staff room. Make small goals. Have a goal for every child, and they'll thank you for the rest of your life. So, one change I'll make tomorrow to build an excellent environment in my class is, I know you have all said it. Thank you so much for being a wonderful and an extremely participative audience. Thank you. Namaskar. I really like, this feedback is $1 million feedback for me because it gives me a motivation to do better in my next sessions. Thank you. Over to you, Vandana ma'am.